Here's Ray in Maryland. What's going on, Ray?
Hey, Eddie, first time, long time on this show.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, bud?
How you doing, man? You were. It's funny you just talked about that. I'll get to what I called in about, but the Ozzy thing today that you discussed on your daily show on Faction Talk 103. You brought up Ozzy. I just learned it from you today that he was inducted as a solo artist. I was talking to my wife Saturday night, and I was saying, I guarantee they're only putting him in. And
but really important, Ray, he's not inducted. These are just nominees. These people are not inducted yet. Right, nominated. Right.
Yeah. And I somehow feel that's a Sharon move. I know that's a sticky subject, but I still felt like, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I was telling my wife, I said, Amber, they're just going to put Ozzy in and make it his night. And I feel like she's behind it in some way. And I know the artists have some sort of say when they actually do something like that, like with Bon Jovi. John insisted they get the original bass player in, stuff like so. I know they can make some calls. So I predicted that one. I saw the writing on the wall immediately, and I knew they were just going to nominate Ozzy and hope to just make it his night. And I wouldn't be surprised if she gave the acceptance speech. But what I wanted to call in about, and not yesterday, that was football day, but the Sunday prior, I decided to, make a commitment, and I was like, my wife and I were sitting out here on our outside enclosure, and I wanted to finally dig into Richie Kotzen's 50 for 50 album, and I listened to it in its entirety in one sitting, and it sounds like a real commitment, but it really wasn't, and it's so great. There's some 70s R&B flair to it. There's some funk. There's some rock. There's some cool ballads in it. And I was like, okay, well, we've heard enough now. So I went in to shut it off. And we were really digging it. And it was on track 47. We didn't even know the time went by. So if you get a chance and have some, I know you're a busy guy, but if you get a chance on a lazy Sunday, if you get that opportunity, just put it on in the background. And it's a really great album, Eddie. And Richie's voice is amazing on it. And I don't have to sell him to you.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I've listened to the record. Don't get me wrong, Ray. And thank you for the call. But I never listened to it like the way Ray did, of doing 47 songs in a row or what have you. What Ray is talking about, if you're not familiar with it, is that Richie Kotzen, one of my favorite artists and a good friend, he made a record a few years ago for his then 50th birthday called 50 for 50, where he put out 50 new songs, played everything on the record, and released it. It was like a 3 CD set or whatever. And as much as I love him and his music, I was just saying it, and I've told him this too. I mean, that's a very big ask, especially in the world we're in today with everybody having such a short attention spans, to ask somebody to listen to 50 new songs. But if you got the time to do it, and I have not had the time to listen to every single song on that record in sequence, but I do know some of it. I'm sure it's quite good. I mean, he's brilliant at what he does, but that's just a very, very tough thing for most people to find the time to do that and absorb and take in 50 brand new songs. I don't care how much you love the artist. So that's what Ray is referring to there. I forgot what Ray was talking about before that, though. Oh, the thing about Ozzy and it reeking of Sharon in terms of not including anybody from the various band members over the years. Look, she has issues with me, and I don't know her, but I have issues with the way things have been done too, which is why probably she has issues with me, but I don't even know the woman, so it's not a personal thing. But, and I'm in a big company with, who she has issues with, but I don't know if I can put that one all on her. Where I do believe she probably would not want anybody up there but Ozzy, I will say that. But I know from talking to people at the Hall of Fame, when we talked about the hypothetical of Ozzy going in, the response was, well, there's a lot of solo artists that we've put into the Hall of Fame, and their band members or songwriters were not included. So I almost feel like in this case, as much as you might want to levy this at her, and although I'm sure this is by far her preference, I don't even think the Hall of Fame ever went to her with other members. I think from the get-go, it was always just going to be Ozzy. I don't agree with that at all. I don't care where it's coming from. But I do know that I actually had conversations with people on that committee, and they said to me, look, we put Elvis in and we didn't put his songwriters in or his band members in. So there is some precedent for it. I just think in his case, you got to honor some of those key people as well. And look, if he does make it, because again, these are just nominees, doesn't mean they're getting in. But if he does make it, let's hope that at least in the acceptance speech, he mentions these people. And, Ray brought up a point saying that he wouldn't be surprised if Sharon speaks for him. I mean, I certainly hope that if he gets in, Ozzy is capable of speaking and accepting on his own. But if he couldn't, there'd be nothing wrong with Sharon accepting for him because, let's face it, she's the architect of the whole thing.